All right, we just got version 14.2.2.3 installed, and I'm going to go ahead and see how well it works. 22-minute drive here. It's got to go out a really long driveway. It's going to back out. Let's see how it does. So far, so good. Coming to the end of the driveway. Okay. Alright. And keeps on going. And it's gonna start turning. Alright. And here we go. Okay, I'm curious about Sloth. Okay, Sloth is still there. It just didn't show up on the when it was showing the other drive modes, I guess. Maybe they just made modifications or something. I don't know. But still have Sloth, Chill, Standard, Hurry, and Mad Max. Which I've got another video where I went through Houston at Mad Max. That was pretty impressive, actually. The way it went in and out of traffic and just real smooth. Kind of went with the flow. Actually, in Houston, traffic goes a lot faster than the speed limit anyway, so it stayed up with everything and made pretty good time. Alright, so taking a right, and here we go. Let's see how we going. Supposed to have a freeze come Saturday, so that will be possible snow, which we don't get very much snow here in Texas. So that will be interesting to take it out and see how well it does in the snow. Matter of fact, let's just double check that weather. So I've got Grok here, and I have different personalities that you can go with, different voices. Of course, the different voices, you've got Ara, Rex, Eve, Sal, and Gork. I went with Ara, which is upbeat female, okay? And then she said as an assistant, which is great for, you know, just whatever. I mean, it pretty much takes care of anything that you, whether it's news or weather or whatever it is, it pretty much takes care of it on assistant mode. All right. So I'm headed home now, 7:41. Sounds good. 19 minutes. All right, so let's go back to Ara. If a phone rings, it cuts off Ara, so that's what happened there. All right, Ara, I'm headed home, and tell me more about the latest news on this weather that we're going to have in Montgomery, with the possible snow or ice or below freezing temperatures.
A big winter storm's hitting Montgomery County this weekend, with freezing rain, sleet, and possible light snow starting tonight, lows dipping to the low 20s. Expect icy roads and travel issues through Sunday, highs only in the low 30s. Drive safe heading home.
But right now it's not below freezing, so should be fine on the roads, right?
Yeah, temps are still above freezing right now, so roads should be fine this evening. That freezing rain could start late tonight, so watch for black ice building up overnight.
It sounds like some crazy weather for Texas.
It sure is. Texas doesn't see ice storms like this often, but this one's going to make things slick quick. Bundle up and check updates before heading out tomorrow.
I sure will. What's the latest? Let's see. World news. The most drama in the world news is probably Greenland. I think Trump went to Davos today, right? So give me the update on that.
Trump was at Davos today, pushing hard for U.S. control of Greenland, for security against Russia and China. But he ruled out using force and announced a framework deal with NATO's Ruta, dropping planned tariffs on Europe. Allies are relieved. Markets rallied, though he slipped up calling it Iceland a few times. Classic Trump drama.
Iceland. Well, there's definitely a lot of ice there.
Haha, yeah, plenty of ice to go around up there. Trump mixed him up in his speech, but the deal's moving forward without the big threats now.
Well, that's good. That's you always prefer it that way.
Yeah, negotiation over force is his style when it works. Anything else on your mind, or just chilling on the drive home?
Just chilling on the drive home. I just got the latest update while I was out. I saw it on my phone and went ahead and let it install. So I've got the 14.2.2.3, and I'm just shooting a little video of it to see how she does.
Cool, fresh update to 14.2.2.3. Nice catch on letting it install. Check controls then software for release notes on any new tweaks, like better autopilot or UI stuff. Tesla's always adding goodies.
Oh, I know. It's like Christmas all over again.
Haha, totally like Christmas morning every update. Let me know how she feels after the reboot. Smoother drive home for sure.
Well, it had a yellow light and made a good call to go ahead and slow down and stop because it's a short one. And so far, so good. Of course, I'm not that far into the drive, but so far everything it's doing is right on the money. So.
Sounds like FSD's nailing it already with that update. Keep me posted if anything funky pops up on the drive.
Yeah, will do.
Great.
With this cold weather, it obviously affects your tires, right? So I'm going to press the microphone button on my steering wheel, and I'm going to use the command check tires, which will pop all 4 tires and tell me what the air temp is, which is good to do when it's getting cold. So here we go. Check tires. And there we go. So we're 41 psi, recommended 42, but the cold outside is going to have a little bit of effect on that, so it's pretty good. We're on a loop right now, and then we'll be going into a multi-lane highway. Taking a look, we'll take a right here where the light is, and we can see the pedestrians there on the right. The nice thing is, even when pedestrians are wearing black, it pops up on the screen almost like you're wearing night vision goggles, so you actually have better vision to see them than you do without the screen, popping them up there. All right, so we're looking for traffic and we're going to blend on in, so all is well. Here we go. Okay, we're going to get into the middle lane. After a long day like today, it sure is nice to kick back and just enjoy the ride. And obviously I wasn't around TV or anything today. I mean, I had my phone, but didn't really use it to check anything, so I can get updates on, like I did with Greenland, or check the weather, which we're having this ice coming in Saturday, and it really makes it nice having all this built into your car. And right now it's still supervised self-driving, so it has a camera that is going to check your eyes to make sure you're paying attention, and looking forward. But the old systems, I think you had to have your hands on the steering wheel, whereas with the new system, you basically have the camera where it just looks at your eyes to make sure you're paying attention. Now, if I was staring at the screen for a long period of time, it would flash on the screen and say pay attention, and of course if I didn't pay attention, it would go to the next step, which would probably at some point just pull over and then say you can use FSD for the rest of the drive. So there are penalties, so you do have to pay attention. But after thousands of miles of FSD driving, full self-driving, it really does a great job with handling traffic, and it can see so much more than what your typical driver would see. I mean, I'm looking at the car in front of me, but it's looking at all three lanes here, both in front and in back, so it has a lot more information that I don't have, which really, I think, makes it safer than even a person driving without FSD, for sure. I think one of the really amazing tasks that it didn't come until later updates, obviously, but I live in a subdivision that has a gate, and it has these stop signs, and sometimes one gate doesn't work, so it has a second gate, and creates a lot of confusion even for just regular drivers, much less FSD. So it's really got it figured out. It stops when it needs to, waits for the gate, when it opens it goes. I mean, just incredible fluctuation of intelligence, to figure out what to do and when to do it, But so far we're just kind of chilling. It's 55 mile an hour speed limit. It always shows you the speed limit, which is nice, and then it shows how fast you're going, which we're going 54, which is just kind of staying with the flow right now. But then again, I'm on standard, because you can be in a slower drive mode, sloth or chill, below standard, or hurry or Mad Max, which would be faster than standard. So we're kind of middle of the road here. I think standard is pretty much, it may go up to 5 miles over the speed limit if it's going with the flow, but that's about it. Right now we're just going right at the speed limit. And here's the car passing us on the left. And looks like there's going to be a car passing us on the right. Now, if I was in hurry or Mad Max mode, that wouldn't be happening, because it pretty much would be going quite a bit faster than the speed limit, especially where cars are passing us like that. And here we go. Car in front. But they're probably going maybe 60 or so. Just kind of quickly going over the updates in this last one. where it shows all the spaces for going to charge, at these fast charging places. Like maybe they have 10 spots, where you can just pull in and then charge your car, when you're traveling. Being able to see which spots are taken and which ones are available, boy, that's great. I mean, that's, that way you're not going there realizing, oh no, they're all full, I'm gonna have to wait, so you can always see that there's spaces available. Well, and while we're driving, I'll show you, so what I would do is I go over here, and then if I hit the deal here for the charging, it shows me all the charging stations, that are nearby. I think right now I have it only showing me Tesla chargers, but you can have it show all chargers, even the ones that aren't Tesla chargers if you want to, but I've just kind of stuck with the Tesla ones. But anyway, you can kind of, zoom in and out and kind of see, along your route, am I going to be passing any kind of, but of course in this route there's not any Tesla chargers, but there is, I think, a Shell charger. So if I had switched this over to show all chargers, it would show some that are here that aren't Tesla. But that's kind of a neat feature there, especially when you're traveling. And the other thing that's kind of cool about it is it'll tell you exactly how much power you'll have when you get there, so you can sort of make sure that you're stopping at the right times. I mean, ideally, if you for daily driving, they say just to charge it up to 80%, and that makes your batteries last longer. And that's kind of what I've stuck to, which is easy to do because you can just set the limit at 80%. So whenever it's charging, as soon as it hits 80%, it quits. That's really convenient. Now, you don't want to let it drop below 20%. So if I was going on a trip, I would make sure that I was stopping off at chargers, where I wouldn't be below 20%, and that's that's a neat feature. Otherwise, I don't know how you would possibly calculate it. Well, I've got this many miles to go, and it goes this many miles for every percent. I mean, it would be just too complicated. It's nice having it just calculated for you. All right, so it's going to turn in 0.7 miles. If you see a certain time that looks like it would be good to get in the left lane, you can go ahead and put your blinker, and then it'll go ahead and do it. In this case, we got a car kind of coming up fast on our right, so probably just have to let it go past us. But it's put the blinker on. All right, let's see if this guy's gonna let us in. It looks like he's slowing down, so we just blend in nicely to this lane, and we're fixing to have to turn again. And here we go. Now let's see what it does when I get through the gate. This will be interesting. Okay, so we're turning into the right here, and okay, so you'll see how crazy this is. So basically there's two gates, so that when one doesn't work, they can use the other one. Okay, so what does it see? It sees a red light on this gate. And does it know to stop? Yep, and it knows, okay, it's green, let's go. Which is great. It didn't always work that well. I had to hit the brakes and get it out of FSD and do it manually. So it's really, really nice that it can go from beginning to end without having to do anything. All right, so let's look and see where's it going to park in. So our choices are, which is something they added later too, is I can park in the driveway, curbside, or in the street. So I'm going to go with driveway. So let's just leave it, park in the driveway. Okay, so sometimes I do this just so I'm not speeding through the neighborhood. So let's of course it's not really going too fast here, but if I'm concerned about it, I can just basically go over here and then just put it on chill or sloth, either way, and it's going to go slower up to the speed limit. For sure in sloth, maybe even under the speed limit, but chill's probably fine. We'll see. So the speed limit's 25. I'm in chill mode, and I'm going 24 under the speed limit. Let's see. And we're up to the speed limit. Yeah, 1 mile over. But I'm also going downhill, so that's understandable. And coming to a stop sign. Looks like it's a 4-way stop, and looks at all 4 places. There's no cars, so carry on. All right, so doing everything that I would do if I was driving, so it's it's a great job. I cannot tell you enough of how nice it is to have something, it's not something, but have your car drive for you. I mean, the closest show I think growing up was Knight Rider, where you had Kit Car and had this little red light going back and forth, and he would talk to his car, and it was more like a robot, like the communication. Whereas this communication with Grok is very human-like. It almost like it shows empathy and just it picks up on what you're saying, even if you just really botch up what you're saying. I mean, it's just unbelievable. All right, so here we go. We said to park in the driveway. Let's see what it does. So far, it's parking in the driveway. It saw there's a spot right here, and there it is. Perfect. And